Beer cans everywhere, of course. Shipping and receiving, well known for it. That is an empty... I don't know where the bullets have gone, I dread to think. They've probably got some sort of scam going on. You know what it's like. Some sort of scam, they're selling off the parts. You get a box of 50 of something, and mysteriously when they get shipped out, there's only 48 in there. And the other two, go somewhere else. Ah! That came back, did it? Nice. Still, less mess, he says, desperately trying to convince himself, than the airlock. Or is it? I don't know anymore. I don't know. If I find a furnace down the corridor, I'm going to be livid. But, you know, never mind. Such is the nature of the game. And the game creator. He's so bloody funny, I tell you. Sniggering his butt off watching this. Watching the mess. We'll do it. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have a peek out the airlock. We'll have a peek out the airlock and see if there's no point washing that up. We can wash that off later. It's not causing any problems. We will have a peek out the airlock and see if there's anything out. See if there's anything out there that might cause problems down the line. Otherwise, we'll do a few experimental chucks out the airlock. Yeah, sure. Why not? Eh? Why? Got to live a little. Got to, you know, push the boat out. Enjoy yourself. Oh, they look very uncomfortable. Imagine how squeaky those seats are. They look very uncomfortable. Oh, well. Okay. Let's get on with it. Yes, how are you doing anyway? I hope you're okay. I hope you're having a good... Not lockdown anymore? This isn't a dead-end corridor, isn't it? No, there's actually nothing else. No, the airlock's down there. Yeah, I hope you're sort of coming out of things okay. Getting back to work, college, school, retirement home, whatever it is you do on a regular basis. Me, I changed jobs fairly recently. Part of the reason why you haven't seen much of me for quite a long time is because I really quite had enough. Is what I'd had. I had a job I was not particularly enjoying. Well, it's not quite. Actually, there's nothing out here. Take it all back, creator. He is a very clever chap. In that, let's not blow this out of the airlock. Farley Holbrooks. In that, I think Father has arranged it so that there are no, there is nothing outside that things can bump into. I'm going with that. I'm going with that assumption. What we can try is an experimental chuck out of the airlock. But before we do that, anything interesting in here? We have, yeah, somebody. Oh dear. Oh dear. Now, okay, I was going to make a couple of assumptions here. 1 second. Hold on. I want to test something. No, they're not going to shatter. Okay. A couple of things I'm thinking of here. Obviously, Event Horizon is one of them. That's what I thought might happen. Yeah, someone's gotten frozen in deep space, and their insides have come to the outside because. Let me get this right, otherwise Rampage is going to shout at me. Shout at me already. It's a given, really. Bit confused about the stuff coming out of the chest, but when I see in this, I might think like some terrible alien infection, but I don't think so because we know there's aliens running around. That seems like a complicated part of the story. This is not like an alien crystal virus or anything linked to the bugs. This is simply that somebody has maybe gone and hidden in the airlock and been partly spaced and they're frozen. So if you go into vacuum, your exposed soft tissues and membranes, like your eyes and inside of your lungs, the water boils out of them into vacuum. Okay, so this is why the crystals are coming out the mouth, out of the chest and everything else, possibly just because of an injury anyway. Maybe something else happened with the hand, I don't know. But the point is that's why there's crystals coming out. It's their insides going outside, is what it is. Let us close the inner doors. And then we'll cycle the airlock. I'm not sure anything flew out of that, you know. I was expecting the... Oh, it has all gone. Did you see it fly out? I mean, oh dear. That might be a laser thing, actually. We'll have to laser that? I don't know. I didn't see the stuff fly out. It's almost like it vanished. Have you changed things? Have you changed how the... Have you been playing with the Matrix, Fodder, and you've changed how things work? And stuff in the just vanishes? Doesn't bounce around? I don't know. We'll do another test run in a minute. We'll put the box in there. And the box, if anything's going to bounce around, it's going to be a box, isn't it? We'll see if it flies at the door or just vanishes. But if that's the case, we'll stop feeding her ladyship over there and we will chuck it out the airlock, which will be a cleaner and easier disposal method. Yeah. Back to my nonsense a minute. What is this? Can't open that. I've got some boxes and some barrels. You know what? When you've got a chance in games like this, you might as well do a bit of storage. Is it barrels over here? But boxes over here, rather? It is. Okay, I think... Crates. Sorry, crates. I'm sorry. Terminology's bad. Is that a laser? There's a laser there. Okay, we'll do that in a minute. Not too bad. We'll keep filling this up. And we'll chuck it out. Yeah, so another... I'll adjust what I said earlier, okay? I had a job that I did enjoy. As much as possible to enjoy any job. I'm sure some people love their jobs. I've never loved a job, but I've been okay with a job. And when you've been at a company for a while, which I was for quite a while, 6 years, then if you're good at your job, then you start to, you know, a lot of the pressure in the job goes away because you can keep getting better at things. But the point is, you're comfortable in your job. You're doing well. Everything's going fine, you know. And I was doing all right in my job. I didn't get up every Monday morning with a big smile on my face. But I wasn't miserable. You know, that's how it was. And for years I was progressing and getting better and better, and it was all right. And then that was deliberate, by the way. I have to watch it this time when it happens. It does bounce around. Okay, that's good to know. I just missed it before, but it was only small stuff. So we will have some mess in here. But it's contained mess. And not really that bad. So that's fine. We'll do that. We'll do that. And there's nothing outside for it to bash into. Good job. Good job. Very nice. Let's clear up in here so we can start stacking crates as we go and be nice and efficient. Who are you? Jay Cortez. Also possibly involved in the smuggling, or at least aware of it in some way. I mean, in a job like this, they all know what each other's doing. I mean, come on. What do I do now? I said I was going to do the airlock, didn't I? In a job like this, I seriously doubt that your friends don't know you're up to something dodgy if you're doing, you know, dodgy things with it, shipping and clearing. They're probably, at least at the minimum, turning a blind eye. You know, I reckon. How you doing? Just have a look at the face. Whoa! World's best limbo. Out we go. Strangely satisfying for some reason, that little flip I did there. Easily amused, as you well know. Yeah, so in a job like this, I was, you know, it was alright, it was okay. And then things changed. They had like a big rearrangement of people at work. And this happens occasionally, and I've worked for a lot of American companies, and it isn't necessarily American companies, but big corporate companies. I heard a squelch. There it is. Gotcha. Big corporate companies start to have a certain sort of problem after a while. And that's because the people at the top, after a certain distance, separation, they don't know what the hell's going on. Okay? I mean, you like to think that the guys in charge might actually know what they're doing. In some cases, they really don't. They know their bit. I mean, when it comes to like overall business plan and stuff like that, you've got people that are really good. And I can't do that stuff. I have my own special set of skills, and those aren't them. I don't think that I can do that job, and that's fine. You've got people that are good at that kind of thing, and that's exactly what you want. But it doesn't necessarily mean they look at the big picture. They look at the broad view of how things work, and that's great. You want those people with vision. What the hell was that? Oh, the big banger fell down. Never mind. Let's go down the airlock. Possibly I'll feed it to a ladyship and give her some indigestion. Yeah, you want people in those positions, and oops. But things pass down the chain. So people at the top make the big decisions, and those roll down. So top boss says, we want X to happen. This is how we're envisioning the company to go, and we want that happening. And the guys slightly lower down go, okay, I understand that. Go back to envisioning things in your ivory tower on your big cloud, big boss. We will enact that, come up with a plan, and then we'll look at it in a few months, and we'll see. We'll go from there. We'll revise things, or we'll see if it's working or not. Everything's working out the way you want it to. This is obviously not the most insightful business speak in the world, but that's roughly. I'm slightly ignorant. That's roughly how things work, And then it goes down the chain. So those bosses go to the next lot of bosses, and they say, we want this to happen, and eventually it rolls down to the chumps at the bottom. Me being one of those El Chumpos. Ready? He didn't go. Ah, oh, right. We'll do a fling. Hold on. Okay, I felt certain the orifice was going to hand that back to me. Right in the face. But it didn't happen. Okay, so that's how things work in an ideal world. Yeah, you delegate. That's what management is all about. Can I turn this on? Nothing happening there? No. Maybe where the goods come in. Goods come in, they get put up on there, or messages from upstairs, or fresh cupcakes in the cafeteria. That kind of message on there. So yeah, this is how things work. Oh, I can only hold one thing, can't I? Crap. Okay, we'll leave that here for now. No, drop it, me. Fine, we'll do that. These things, I don't know what to do with them. I don't think this thing's given off a signal. I think it's supposed to be stored. I mean, you don't want to throw away the big, high quality stuff. But there we go. But that's how things are supposed to work. Like now, someone said, "Oh, the station's gone wrong. Boo-boos happened. Imported eggs, some nonsense like that." I suspect you go over here. Yeah, you seem fine. So there's some mess over here that's triggering this. It's not this thing that's triggering this, I don't think. It's this doing it, see? It's not this thing. Something terrible has happened. We want you to go and fix it, and then part of the fixing is some idiot in a pair of dungarees has to turn up and clean up the mess. Delegation. That's how delegation works. That's fine. Unfortunately, every now and then, someone in the company gets in charge, and they think they're God's gift to everything. They know the whole lot. They can advise everything, even the fine level stuff from high up. Yeah, doesn't happen all the time. Not all big bosses are idiots. Things would never work if they were. I've worked for many great high level bosses. I work for one now. It's not the same company I was in before. But we had one the type of B chump who got in charge and decided to rearrange everything without actually knowing the appropriate way to rearrange things. So people were removed and numbers were thinned down. It was spread out. Things were reassigned. It was a flipping disaster. And the job was passed down. Is this not... I'm not boring you, am I? I hope not. I'm talking about my work stuff. I do worry about this. But, you know, it's... turn the volume down. If I'm boring you, turn the volume down. Just watch what I'm doing instead, because that might be more interesting. I don't know. I don't want to bore you with this, but it's like... It's a big part of my life recently and why I haven't been here. So, apologies if I'm being irretrievably dull. I try not to be. Anyway, yeah, things got passed down to lower management, but they were true. They couldn't do the thing where we want to, you know, realise what the boss says, but we get to choose how to do it. They were limited in what they can do, and they had limited resources and everything else. They did the best they could. Of course, they're trying to survive with their jobs as well. Who blames them? They've got their own families as well, and it was just an absolute freaking mess. And I ended up... The problem with me is that I've done my job for a very long time, and I'm really quite good at it. And I don't say that lightly. Who are you, by the way? Sir? Madam? Whatever. You are Peter Gorm. Not sure if the monsters were coming out of the lab or into the lab. You'd think they'd be coming out of the lab. They could be heading into the lab. Okay, so the thought is either the little bug things were trying to get into the lab to rescue whatever's in there, like the eggs. Like an ant would, you know. You pour water into an ant's nest if you're in an unpleasant kind of frame of mind. If you pour water into an ant's nest, then they try to rescue the eggs. You know, they recover. This is the next generation. They look after them. They instinctively go in there. So even the bugs are going into the research labs to get the eggs, because the research labs have got hold of them after the smugglers brought them in and they were found. Or they're escaping out of the labs. Either way, it worked out very badly for Peter. There's now a lot more Peter than there used to be. Well, there's the same amount of Peter, but it's spread rather more thinly around the area. I think we've got all of the PIDs around here, so we'll head back this way. Anyway. Yeah, so I don't usually praise myself in any way whatsoever, but I'm good at my job, and I've done it a long time, and I know a lot of the people in the areas, and I work with like biotech industry and also the academic research groups as well. I work with all of them, and dealing with the academics can be a bit trickier. And there's a lot more of them. They change a lot more. You need to know the group leaders, and it's harder to convince. They've got a different way. You have to work differently with the academic guys than you do with industry. And they decided, you know what, you've been doing both for years, Mush. We just want you to do the academics. You know, just look after their stuff, because you know them all. Well, yeah, I do. I do know all the major groups and everything like that. But, and you just go do that for now. The trouble is, the sort of work they do is a lot less of the really interesting stuff. You know, the really interesting research. And that's what I do, and that's what keeps me going, is that it's not the money, it's the interesting thing they work on. You go and see anyone working in like research on gene editing or cell and gene therapy or anything else, and what they're doing is goddamn fascinating. And I've got the... Oh, for goodness sake. Damn it. I've got the background that can understand what they're talking about. Because I used to be a scientist. Not a proper scientist anymore, but used to be one. And that's what I enjoy. And I enjoy helping them and, you know, selling them services or goods or whatever that they want to have that helps them in what they do. But what they do in academia is often a lot different to what they do in industry. It's just not the same, and it's not as interesting. And you've basically you've taken away the bit of the job that I really enjoy, and you've given me all the garbage. Now, the problem comes here is that... Let's just cycle this while we're waiting, shall we? Is the job, if you know what you're doing, isn't actually that hard. You just know how to deal with things. Distant thumping noises. What joys are going to be in here? Okay. So, I was at the difficult point that I could do my job and do really well at it because it wasn't actually that hard. Check, Geck. You were trying hard, mate. I doubt you were paid enough to make it worth it. I could do my job and get reasonably well paid, but be bored out of my tiny mind, or I could leave my company. There we go. So Gek was one of the security officers, was doing his best to try to deal with the bugs. Bullets are going that way. Bug was facing that way, so I presume... Yeah, they're heading into the labs. They're off to get the eggs. Is that a skull cap? Is that not a skull cap, rather, but is that a cap with, like... Yeah. Gek, you dope. Well, maybe you were happy with it, Gek. If you work for a company and you're security and they give you that with the skulls on, it's a sign. It's a sign, Gek. You're not working for the right people, okay? Well, I guess you are working for the evil organisation. Maybe you were fine with it. Maybe this was the highest point of your life. Maybe you loved the way you went down. You went down fighting a disgusting alien thingy, and then you got killed in battle. And that for you, Gek, was the epitome. It was like you know, you were made you give you good feelings in your pants regions. You know, maybe that was great for you. This is exactly what you wanted to do. But just for anybody else, if you get a hat with a skull on it, you know, consider that you're happy working for this company. Are Facebook going to put skulls on their hats soon, before long? Maybe? I don't know. Who knows? Maybe they rename it to Meta. There'll be more skull motifs. We'll have to see, won't we? It's not a good sign, mate. There we go. We'll come back. We'll stack some up and come back in a minute. Efficiency. Look at me go. Yeah, but there was another... So, and you might be looking at me and going, you Wally, so you were getting bonuses and doing good job and getting paid, and your problem was it wasn't interesting enough. Well, boo-hoo, you know, what are you talking about, mate? And I understand that completely. I understand that view. However, what they'd basically given me was a demotion. Now, I've never been very high up in companies, so I was surprised I was capable of being demoted. It's the position I was in. Could I actually go any lower that I could be demoted? But I discovered, yes, I could. I effectively had been demoted, and everything I'd done for the previous however many years had been sort of ignored. You know? To the point where I'm going to tell you this one. This is great. This will give you the right frame of mind to put yourself in. Imagine this happening to you. There were two of us doing a very similar job, like technical experts, I guess you could call us. And we were the people that, if you weren't sure, if the salespeople weren't sure what they were doing for one particular product, one particular job or thing that a customer's trying to do, and you wanted a bit more advice on it, you could go to one of us, depending on geographical region, and we'd help out. We'd talk to some of the more technical stuff with the, and that's the sort of thing I've done for years. You know, the technical in-depth discussions with researchers. Again, that's what I like. That's what I enjoy. Yeah, that's what tickles me in my pants area. Sorry, graphic. I know. I'll try to turn it down a bit. I've got an 18 on this video. And there were two of us doing this. And during one of the meetings, the boss asked for a vote from all the team to tell my colleague, who still had the same technical job that I'd lost, how well he'd done in the past few years, and, you know, what a great help and support he was. Completely oblivious to the fact that basically you're saying to him, all the help that you gave over the years was great, chum, but that bloke over there, that idiot who makes YouTube videos, he didn't actually do anything at all, apparently, because we're not saying thank you to him. Not only we're not saying thank you to him, we've chucked him out of his job. We've given him a crappier version of the job that's really simple because he's a bit of an idiot, apparently, or something like that. And it sounds ridiculous, I know. Why would I care? But this is basically what I was being told, and I never even thought I had an ego, but apparently I do, because it was really quite upsetting. So, towards the end of last year and the start of this year, I was freaking miserable as I was. I was absolutely fed up, because I was, you know, not being rewarded for my hard work, And it's almost ignore. Is ignore being worse than someone being mean to you? I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not in a position to judge that. But that's where I was at. Okay, that's where I was at. And in that frame of mind, you're not really in the mood to make stupid YouTube videos. There you go. But in the past, I've immediately left companies when things have been going south. Let's have a look around here. What's happening in here? Oh, well, there you go. So this is I like it. I like the lab experience you've done here, Cannon Fodder. Very nice indeed. Wow, carnage though, absolute flipping carnage. So we have a 2-stage life form. We have oh, they're getting watered. That's nice. We've got apparently a plant stage, or at least a stationary phase life form. A version of the life form. Maybe that's what the eggs come out from, or they grow on there or something like that. And we've got actual eggs over here. You were eating these? Well, I guess gross-looking things can be delicious. You don't have to be a delicious-looking egg for it to be actually delicious. But you've got them in here. Someone has been terminally exploded here. Who are you? Cedric Schummel. Some poor lab tech has been blown apart. Containment failure, maybe? Or just misjudging the life cycle when they hatch out? Somebody's hatched out. There's a little one. A little dinky one. Maybe they start from the little ones. Little legs like that. And they're out. They're out, and all the ones have come in from outside to get these. Not sure. I don't know. At some point, something's hatched, hasn't it? Something has hatched, and all hell has broken loose. Is it? It is moving. It is moving. I thought it was. The top of the egg is moving. Disturbing, to say the least.